Hey guys, I got my labs back yesterday. These are from my labs taken from Tuesday. I got them back in 24 hours thanks to Titan Medical. If you ever need to get labs done, it's called Titan Medical. They will send your script to any LabCorp, and LabCorp will actually take their script even though it's out of state. If you want to save $60 off your blood work, tell them you work with MVP and take $60 off your bill. So like men, that's like getting your full set of labs done for like 140, which is a fucking steal. But that being said, this is going into my labs 1 week post show. So there's obviously going to be some things that are going to be a little off, specifically due to that. But that's also why we got labs done, to see what is off so I can course correct in between the shows, right? So, starting at the beginning, hematocrit is actually perfectly in check. Now, obviously, as an enhanced user, most of us always have our hematocrit or hemoglobin slightly elevated. This is why we normally have to blood dump periodically throughout the year. But I take this product called HemoFlow from Leviathan Labs, which has nattokinase in there, which in essence doesn't allow your hemoglobin and hematocrit to crank up, which means you don't have to blood dump, which is great for your cardiovascular health. So all that was good. Red blood cell size is slightly elevated by a significant amount. That could be related to the fact that I trained the day before. The day before was a posterior day for me, which is like just slanging and banging fucking deadlifts and RDLs. So, it could be possibly related to that. So nothing I'm going to stress over. Kidney function, glucose, all seem to be perfect. Bun is fucking perfect. Creatine's perfect. EGFR, fuck yeah. So all that seems to perfectly be in range. Now, when we get to the metabolic panel, hey, here's some red flags. So, we're looking at liver enzymes right here. We see that they are both elevated. If we look at the reference range, we are pretty much 3x and 4x, almost 5x out of the reference range here. Again, a couple of things like I just mentioned. This is 1 week post-show, so these are expected to be elevated. This is also 1 day after a grueling training session. So there's going to be some elevation there. And running about 2.5 grams of gear. So obviously there's going to be some elevation here. So again, this is why we get labs done, so I can course correct. So I'm currently taking 500 milligrams of TUDCA. Well, now I have this data, I can take more TUDCA. Maybe I'm now going to take 1,500 milligrams of TUDCA a day. Or maybe I'm going to add back in injectable glutathione, right? I now have data, so now I can course correct. I'm not going to go take less gear and do that, because obviously it's not going to aid me in the bodybuilding aspect of it. I'm going to add things in to mitigate the risks that I've already have accepted. All right, cool. Cholesterol, low. This is why I always tell people, dude, if you actually do your fucking cardio, your cardiovascular health a lot of times through your prep can actually just only get better. My last test, which I don't know why I don't have listed here, because I went to a different LabCorp location, was like 125. Still fucking low. But not elevated at all. Like, if you look at my triglycerides, in reality, look how fucking low they are. 35, right? We're at the very bottom end of the reference range there. Now, HDL, we obviously would like elevated, a little higher. I'm really happy with 30, though, being directly after a show. Because in the past, when I was with other coaches who had me crush AIs near the end of the show, I would get this back post show and it'd be like 15. So I'm very happy with 30. I would obviously like it higher, but I also accept This is part of contest prep that your HDL would normally take a hit to an extent. Next thing, let's go into the thyroid panel. Now, we see that my T4 is super low, way below out of the reference range. Now, that being said, that could be related to the fact that I am taking 8 units of growth hormone a day. Growth hormone is notorious for lowering your T4 production, so that could honestly be it in itself. Also, definitely lets me know that my growth hormone is probably legit. But we obviously will see better numbers about my growth hormone when we get these numbers back, which will follow. T3 uptake seems to be in a good range, but TSH could be in a much better position. We're sitting at 1, while obviously the top end of the reference range is 4.5. Again, due to the fact that my T4 is so low, definitely is a factor in this scenario. And so is my free thyroxine index, also is low as well. We are decently low below the reference range, 3 times actually below the reference range here. This could be due to the fact all the physical stress that my body is under, as well as emotional stress. So, things to consider. Due to this, I actually have added in the new thyroid support product by Leviathan Labs. I'm interested to see actually how much it improves it, because like in the previous prep, I just added in T4 to compensate for this. But I'm curious to see if that product aids with the conversion of T3 into T4. That being said, obviously testosterone is going to be high due to the exposure. Free testosterone is going to be high as well due to the exposure. Estrogen was slightly elevated, but I am completely okay with this elevation being at 56, knowing that my testosterone is over 1500. In reality, my testosterone is probably closer to maybe 3000 right now. So this being 56, because the rule of thumb that you see a lot of people go by is 1/10 of it for health, not necessarily bodybuilding. But so let's just say 3,000 divided by 56. Yeah, so it'd be 1 out of 53 is the comparison. So I have 53 times more testosterone than estrogen. So nothing I'm hyper concerned about. I don't have any prolactin symptoms. I don't have any estrogen-based symptoms. I'm not hyper emotional. None of those things. I actually feel really good in that department. Vitamin B12 is obviously high due to the excessive meat consumption. I also do take injectable B12 once a month as well, which definitely does help. But yeah, that is it. Nothing to be hyper concerned about here. Very happy with everything. Obviously, expected the thyroid to kind of be the main culprit here. Did expect some elevation. Did not expect this high of an elevation, but again, nothing I'm going to hyper stress about, knowing the circumstances. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to increase my dosage of Tutka, and I'm also going to add in the injectable glutathione liver restore that you can find at Amino Asylum. By the way, if you're ever on Amino Asylum looking for anything, code MVP20 will save you 20% off your whole purchase order. They have a lot of great stuff there. Honestly, I actually enjoy using their Clen over anyone else's Clen due to the best bang for your buck, and the quality seems to be pretty spectacular. But yeah, that is it, guys. Those are all the updates, or not even updates, but that is the blood work for today. I do have to thank my results of my blood work from things like Complete Health by Like a Pro, making it so much easier to take all our products conveniently to get them all down. So I'm not, again, opening 10 to 15 bottles every morning, taking each individual product. I had to thank Leviathan Labs for the great health products as well. especially hemoflow for keeping my hematocrit in check. Also, like their fish oil is, again, I had Will on my podcast yesterday. It's so unique, so unique. Instead of, in essence, this being a triglyceride, it is a free-form fatty acid. So in layman's terms, think of like it is the EAA version of protein. So there's less being lost during the conversion process by the liver. Because what happens is when we have to break down the triglyceride to get the free-form fatty acid, there's obviously some loss. So if you can just ingest the fatty acid in the most simplest form, it will definitely benefit you more effectively, especially from a brain and cardio health standpoint. And we look at my triglycerides here, like we can't even remotely argue cardiovascular health here. Like we remotely can't. So, use good products. Don't go buy the cheapest shit out there. Because if you buy cheap shit, you're gonna get cheap results, and cheap results are way worse than just spending a little extra money. Because at least your money's not doing something. Like if I spent $500 and got no results, and then spent $750 and got results, well, guess what? The $500 was a waste. The $750 was an investment. Well, dude, if you have any questions, feel free to ping me, comment below, shoot me a message. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video, and share it with your friends. Thank you, guys. Take care. I'll be making updates on my personal plan again on Saturday. So stay tuned towards that. And also the new episode of Minutes with Mark will be dropping this Saturday as well. So also stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.